Hello everyone and welcome in today's video. I am Sohini Biswas, a third year law student, and currently I am doing an internship at the Lexis & Company. Today I'll be discussing on the topic of Doctrine of Election under Section 35 of the Transfer of Property Act. So let us begin. The Doctrine of Election was stated in Section 35 of the Transfer of Property Act alongside Section 180 to 190 of the Indian Succession Act. It states that when a party transfers a property over which he does not hold any right to transfer and is entailed in the transaction is the benefit conferred upon the original owner of the property, such title holder must elect his option to either validate such transfer of property or reject it. Now let us understand the Latin maxim which would help us to know the doctrine of election better. Allegin contraria non est audendius. The person it is not to be heard who alleges things contradictory to each other. The doctrine is universal in nature and as applicable to all the Hindus, Muslim and Christian. This doctrine consists of the principle of a person exercising a choice out of his own free will to do one thing and is founded on the equitable doctrine that he who accepts the benefit under an instrument or transaction of its choice must adopt the whole of it or renounce everything. This principle was determined in the case of Codrington versus Coddington in 1857. Now, what are the essential conditions? From the case of Dhanpati versus Devi Prasad and others in 1970, it was determined that before the election, following conditions must be fulfilled. First, a person having no right to transferring the property. Second, he must transfer some benefit to the owner of the property as a part of the same transaction. Third, the owner must elect either to confirm the transferor to dissent from it. Next, where the owner dissents the transfer of property. First, he must forego the benefit, and second, the benefit contemplated for him would then go back to the transferor. What are the exceptions to this? First is where a particular benefit is expressed to be conferred on the owner of the property which the transferor compasses to transfer, and such benefit is in lieu of that property. If such owner claims the property, he is not bound to relinquish any other benefit that he achieves through the same transaction. The acceptance of the benefit by the original owner will be considered to be an election by him to confirm the transfer if he is aware of his duties and responsibilities and of the circumstances that might influence a prudent, reasonable man into making an election. This knowledge of the circumstances can be assumed if the person who gets the benefit enjoys it for a period of more than 2 years without doing any act to express dissent. The transferor would ask him to elect his choice if the original owner does elect this option within a year of the transfer of the property. Even after a reasonable time, if he still does not elect, the original owner shall be presumed to have elected the validation of the property transfer as his choice. In the context of the minor, the period of election shall be adjourned until the individual attains the majority unless he is represented by a guardian. Now, what are the modes of the election? The election by the owner can be either direct or indirect. Indirect election, one just needs to simply communicate about the elected choice or option, though in case of an indirect election, the acceptance of the benefit by the owner is subject to two conditions. That is, first, he has to have knowledge of his responsibility to elect, and second, there must be proof of knowledge of circumstance which would influence the judgment of a prudent man to make an election. The election shall be presumed when the donee acts in such a manner with the property gifted to him that it becomes impossible to return it to the original owner in its original state. Now let us understand this better with the help of a case. Muhammad Qadir Ali Fakir versus Luqman Hakim. In this case, the basis of the doctrine of choice is that the person who uses the instrument must also bear the burden imposed in this way, and that he cannot carry under and against the same instrument. This is violation to general rules and that cannot be accepted or rejected by anyone. The doctrine is based on the fictional intent of this, either that the laws imply that the author of the instrument intends to manifest any part of it. Next is that there is an obligation for anyone using a will or other instrument to make that instrument fully effective, which donor or settlers cannot have. However, what effect can be obtained from this agreement that has received compensation based on the same instrument? The law will apply to the applicant's obligation to use the instrument in full force and effect. If the tool is partially invalid, the rest is enough to place someone to vote if they do so. What is the conclusion that we can derive? Election is choosing between two alternatives or conflicting rights. By giving two rights so that one is higher than the other, you can choose one of them. You cannot have both. The applicant cannot use both. The recipient must choose between two inconsistencies or alternative rights. Basically, this means that the recipient must also bear the burden, being derived from the equity principle, which clearly states that a person cannot have benefited from both the sides. The doctrine has been successful and many poverty conflicts can be resolved using it. Thank you.